Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and warn you now that this isn't gonna be an easy one for me to talk about. So if you don't want to listen to someone be emotional, then probably you should just go ahead and click off the video now. Still love you though. Today, or I guess this video, maybe not today, but this video, I'm gonna talk to you about the time I woke up in hell. And what I've been trying to do to get out since. And the reason I'm outside now is because I'm about as close to the place that I woke up in as I can be. Because, well, I feel like sometimes to deal with things, you got to get back to the root of the issue, and this is where I sprang out of the ground. When I was about 3 or 4, I I was in my what I like to call the backyard to my backyard. There's some baseball fields behind the house I grew up in, and there's a creek that I'm currently at. Here, I'll show you. See, creek. You can see it. See the creek? Yeah, you see the creek. Bam, because I showed you. Bam, because I showed you. Well, anyway, and when I was really little, I remember my parents telling me, don't go down in there, just because the older kids are in there, don't go play in it. And, well, one night, my dad was announcing a game, because that's what he did back then. He was a really good announcer, has a really good, announcer's voice. Not real sure where my brother and mother were. Pretty sure they were back at home. Um, I guess my brother had a game, and I convinced him to let me stay and play at the field and stay with Dad. I did, and well, I got tired of just hanging out in the announcer's box, so I decided to, go outside. So I did. I saw the older kids were playing over here in the creek, and I was like, okay, cool. I want to play in the creek. I always wanted to, and I knew I shouldn't. I knew, you know, my parents didn't want me to, so I was like, I just, I, I, I thought they wouldn't find out. I thought they wouldn't, you know, thought it wouldn't be a big deal, I guess. And so I jumped from, I'm not sure if it was by that tree or in that little, I don't know if y'all can see this. I have the camera, or the screen capture shut off, but I don't know if it was by that tree or over here on this little crack, but and it doesn't quite look the same as it did back then, but it anyway, I jumped and I landed somewhere over in this area. I don't know exactly where. There's not exactly a indication anymore, because it's been about 20 years. Anyway, I landed, and the mud, I landed in about probably like that much of shore space, not a whole lot, not too much area. Um, and I sank a lot farther than I thought I would, all the way up to my chest. And when you're a 3-year-old kid, and you fall in the mud and sink up to your chest, you kind of assume that's gonna be it. And so I thought I was gonna die. I thought that was it for me. I thought, you know, the first time I ever do something my parents didn't want me to do, I'm dead. And I freaked out. I started screaming and fighting and just clawing and trying to get out and just get out. That's all I could think was get out, I'm gonna die. 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 And I've I've been if finish the story. Um, one of the older kids, I don't even know who it was. I vaguely have a face in my memory. I don't remember looking at his face at all, like directly at it, and I don't remember it being important. But I just jumped. I tried tried to jump out, and he grabbed me, and I held on to him. He asked me where my parents were. He took me to my parents, and I've never seen that guy again. Or maybe I have. I have no idea. This town, there's only like 100 and something thousand people in this town. I probably have seen that guy again. I don't even know it. I'm, and I know I wasn't really gonna die. Now I'm old and I know I wasn't really gonna die. It's just mud, and there were people around. There's no reason to freak out. But I was you know a 3-year-old kid. You try telling a 3-year-old that they're not gonna die when they get a fight or flight response out of themselves on accident. And when I got back up, I got he took me to my dad, and my my dad just continued announcing the games. He laid a towel down in the press box for me to lay on so I didn't get mud everywhere. And I cried for the next 30 or 45 minutes, discovering what it meant to have a consciousness and what it means to be alive. Because I just learned that I can die. So now I have to come to terms with being alive and being on my own. So I've kind of been stuck at that point since. Um, Trying to figure out what it means to be alive. And so I've still kind of been stuck trying to dig myself out. And I don't really know if I can. I don't even know if I'm capable of it. If that older kid hadn't been here, maybe I would have just accidentally dug myself into a deeper hole. But the point is that there are, you know, a lot of things that I think humans do to ourselves that we don't want to admit we did to ourselves. And we don't want to admit that it's our fault. We don't want to admit that we fucked ourselves up. Nobody else did this to me. Nobody else made me the way I am. I did. It's my fault. And I'm not so sure forgiving myself is going to do anything, because I've never really been upset at myself at it or because of it, because I always knew it was an accident. I guess I've just never been able to admit it fucked me up. Never been able to admit I was fucked up, because nowadays it's all about how fucked up are you? And I guess me waking up to real life in hell wasn't enough for me. I didn't think that was enough for me to go through something. So I put myself through a lot more. And I have no one to be angry with except for me. And I don't want to be angry anymore. I don't want to be angry at my dad for letting himself die. He's not physically dead, but he's been dead for a while. He's been dead to me for a while. But I've been listening to some wise men who said that sometimes you have to save your father from the abyss. And so even though he didn't mean to and he left me for dead, I have to figure out a way to bring him back to life, to me. And maybe this is how. Maybe talking to the internet about how I feel will help me right my own wrongs, will help me make up for what I've done, will help me understand what it means to be alive. Because there are too many people who know what it feels like to feel like me and want to die. Spent every waking moment since then wishing I wouldn't have gotten taken out of it. And that's not fair, because I've always had the mentality that if you want to die that bad, just fucking kill yourself. I've already had too many close friends kill themselves. I've had close friends live in ways that let them die. And I mean really directly lived in ways that let them die. That made them die. and I wasn't encouraging enough to help them keep fighting. I'm not blaming myself, I know it was their decision. But in the significant time I had in their lives, I didn't do enough to help them rekindle their own light, because I was too worried about my own. I'm not going to let that happen again. I promise. To you, Internet. Whatever the fuck you are. I hope you can get out of your hell, whatever it is. I hope you can figure out what you need to figure out and do what you need to do to not have to live like that anymore. Whatever that looks like for you. I know you can. No matter how difficult it may be, I know you can. So please, stay strong. And if you're not, figure out how you can get strong. Because this world isn't kind to the weak, and the strong learned how to be kind to themselves. So please, be kind to yourself.